Hey, walk me through what actually went wrong that night. I keep hearing the defense say it wasn't that bad.
Well, the first mistake hit the moment the fetal monitor started flashing those deep, clear decelerations from cord compression and that scary loss of variability. Right? That's the kind of strip that tells any trained clinician the baby is literally fighting for its life.
Yeah, they spotted it though, didn't they?
They did spot it. At 9:51 p.m., they made the official call and ordered an emergency C-section. But here's where it went south. The team delayed the whole operation by over 2 hours. The defense tried to say monitors aren't crystal balls, and that sometimes these signals look worse than they are, so a slower response was reasonable given the logistics of prepping the OR and coordinating the team.
Right, they painted it like just another busy night in the hospital.
Exactly. But the plaintiff tore that apart. They pulled out the exact monitor strips, time-stamped minute by minute. These weren't random blips. They were persistent, worsening drops in heart rate, screaming for oxygen. The variability went flat, which every nurse and doctor knows means the brain is headed toward asphyxiation. Hospital protocol says when you see this, you deliver within 30 minutes. Instead, the baby wasn't born until after midnight, over 2 full hours while brain cells were dying off.
Damn, was the OR even available?
It was open and the surgeon was on site. The notes showed a pretty casual environment, calls going unanswered, no real urgency. The plaintiff asked a simple question. If it wasn't an emergency, why order the C-section at all? Then, they stacked the severe asphyxiation at birth and the high acid levels in the blood. It wasn't standard procedure. It was a total abandonment of the clock.
Okay, so that was mistake number one. What about after the order was placed?
Well, the second major error was the total failure to escalate once the order was in the system. Even after the 30-minute mark passed, no one pushed harder, no one cleared the path. They just let time slip away while those distress signals kept flashing.
The defense probably said it's a busy hospital and coordinating takes time, right?
Yeah, they tried that. Said they were monitoring the mother closely and didn't want to rush into surgery with its own risks. But the plaintiff dismantled it layer by layer. They replayed the timeline like a slow-motion tragedy. The monitor kept showing the same dangerous patterns. Pages went unanswered. The mother was just sitting there while staff handled routine stuff. No clear chain of command to speed things up. Experts explained how sensitive fetal brain tissue is to oxygen loss and contrasted that with the hospital's own policies. These patterns were textbook danger signs that demand immediate delivery. The APGAR scores and severe acidosis in the cord blood sealed it. Every lost minute added to the permanent damage.
In the end, it wasn't unpredictable labor, it was refusal to adapt.
Exactly. The plaintiff made the jury feel the weight of every single minute. They showed how dragging their heels while a life hung in the balance turned a salvageable birth into a permanent tragedy. No excuses left standing.
So tell me how the Kristen Drake case actually ended up in court and what the jury decided.
Well, it was a medical malpractice lawsuit against Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit. The mother, Kristen Drake, and her son were the plaintiffs. The whole thing went to a 4-week trial in Wayne County Circuit Court back in early 2024.
Right, and what did the jury find?
The jury found the hospital, the attending obstetrician, and the nursing staff negligent. They agreed there was a more than 2-hour delay in performing the C-section, even though the fetal monitors were showing clear signs of fetal distress the whole time.
Yeah, that matches what we were talking about earlier with the delays and the failure to escalate.
Exactly. The case had been in the courts for about 4 years, from when it was filed in late 2020 until the verdict came in March 2024. No administrative penalties were slapped on the hospital or the staff afterwards. It was all handled through the civil verdict.
So the family actually won.
They did. The jury came back with a huge award in favor of the victim and her son.
How much are we talking about here? Walk me through what that money was meant to cover.
Well, the final judgment was $120 million in damages. That substantial award was designed to cover the severe, lifelong injuries the little boy suffered because of the delayed C-section back in 2010. It includes the costs for ongoing care, different therapies, and all the support he'll need for his cerebral palsy and brain damage, right when it matters most for his future quality of life.
That's a powerful statement from the jury.
Right? In the end, that's how the system delivered accountability here through that big jury decision after everything was laid out in court.